Welcome back. Well, today's show is all about trying to help you out a little bit in the kitchen and in your home and maybe making your life a little easier. And one thing that a lot of parents are dealing with, and they may not know that they're dealing with it, is ADHD. And here to talk a little bit about it, how to maybe recognize some of the signs and when to maybe ask for help, is psychotherapist Ken Horn from Child and Family Consultants. Good morning, Ken. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Well, first of all, ADHD. I think we've all heard about it. Sure. What is it exactly? Define it for us.
ADHD is a brain-based chronic disorder. It's caused by a malfunction in our prefrontal lobe. There's a chemical imbalance there.
So what are some of the symptoms, and what are some of the ages that you can recognize some of the symptoms? I mean, what should parents be looking for?
Well, technically, it has to occur before age 7.
Okay.
We start to see some of the signs at that age. Sometimes college students and adults will start to notice things, and it was probably there all the time, but somehow they got by without having any suffering from it.
So catch it early, though. I mean, really, it can help. What are some of those things that we should be looking for?
Difficulty paying attention, especially to dull, boring, tedious things. Being asked to do chores, to clean, that sort of thing. Most kids will give you a little bit of resistance. Kids with attention problems give you a lot of resistance because that's not interesting to them. Forgetfulness, procrastination, such things as the impulsivity part of saying things that are rather blunt or not considering the appropriateness of the remark and the timing of it, not wanting to wait in lines. That's the impulsivity part. Then we have the hyperactivity part, children that find it difficult to stay seated where they're supposed to be seated, like in their school desk or in a chair in a restaurant or in their pew at church. It's just really a struggle for them.
Certainly pay attention.
Fidgety with hands. And
your report card, talk with the teacher. I mean, if you're noticing that the kid's just not, it's not happening in school, this could be one of the problems.
Right. If the teacher is saying, my student's having difficulty paying attention, staying on task, finding reasons to get out of their seat frequently, sharpening their pencil frequently, not working up to potential, not getting that homework turned in, that's a primary thing. A child will spend just an inordinate amount of time doing that homework only to not turn it in the next day.
Now, where do you guys come in? How can you help, and what are some of the treatments, and what are some of the amazing success stories, I should say, too?
Well, the most important thing is to get a thorough evaluation, either from your pediatrician, from a child psychiatrist, or a therapist who's experienced in dealing with this kind of disorder. Some of the most important things are knowing everything you can about this. Knowledge is power.
Okay.
Number 2 would be to look at behavior management, because so many children with ADHD have negative behaviors that cause them to constantly be in trouble with their parents or their siblings. Number 3 is to be an advocate for your child, because they'll probably need some kind of help going through school. Number 4 would be to look at medication if it's warranted.
But definitely don't ignore it. Those early signs, really, catch it early, and it can make all the difference.
Right. It even affects friendships. Some kids have it to a degree where they can be so annoying that it's hard for them to keep a friend. And then they're not getting invited to the birthday parties and so forth, and that makes life more difficult. And that's where we have the suffering.
What's the percentage of people who suffer from ADHD?
About 3 to 5% worldwide.
All right. Again, you're here to help. Catch it early. Look for it. Look for it. Don't ignore those little signs. Can make all the difference.
And just having an evaluation can rule it out, or it might be something else that can mimic an attention problem.
Good point. Thanks so much. Ken Horn from Child and Family Consultants, a psychotherapist. Good to see you, Ken.
Thank you, Amy.
Coming up next, we're headed back to the kitchen. We're going to make some delicious Irish soda bread to go with our Reuben soup.